Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, our chief guest and keynote speaker this evening, winners of the 15th and 16th Ramnath Goenka Awards for Excellence in Journalism, the jury, distinguished guest, ladies and gentlemen, I have been conducting these awards for over 18 years. This year is special because we are meeting physically after a gap of 3 years. These were 3 years of uncertainty, of pain, of all sorts of unimaginable circumstances. They were 3 years without the RNG Awards. But one thing that wasn't missing through those years was outstanding journalism. We saw reporters, photographers, cameramen, producers, all putting themselves in harm's way to do their duty, to bring attention to someone's courage or despair. Tonight, we recognize their work and their commitment to our profession. What emerged from the reader was a respect for facts, checked and double-checked, because these were all matters of life and death, beyond the ambit of our WhatsApp university. The pandemic was defeated by vaccines, while the infodemic was defeated by old-fashioned, honest journalism. The work we showcase today is a testament to that. Reporters on the field tracking the pandemic, telling stories of migrants on the move, children's safety during lockout, the dedication of frontline workers, how COVID challenged and galvanized our institutions across the board, how governments fumbled, and how they got together to find solutions. How the judiciary balanced the often competing interests of individual rights and the public good when we were at our most vulnerable. No one has had a better finger on that pulse than our chief guest today, the Chief Justice of India, Justice Chandrachud, who brilliantly blends scholarship with a keen sense of law and its intersections with daily life. For his doctoral work on affirmative action that redefined the idea of merit, to his eloquent rulings on dissent and gender rights, he has always listened to what he calls the call of conscience and the call of duty. For him, there is no contradiction between these two, because his calling cards are courage and compassion, two of the same values that define the best in journalism. In an interview to the Indian Express just before he took charge as the Chief Justice of India last November, he was reflecting on a very personal and yet tremendously significant case, the ADM Jabalpur case, which abrogated the right to life, the basic democratic tenet during the emergency. I need to quote him in full. When I overruled my father's judgment, when I completed writing that part of Puttuswamy, the historic privacy ruling, where I said that I am overruling ADM Jabalpur, I remember I told my secretary that we are stopping work for the day today. I came inside and said, it's time to go back and introspect. I will be a hypocrite if I didn't tell you that. As judges, we are trained to control our emotions, and that comes from years and years of training. You have to do what is right, irrespective of who is before you, who it's affecting, and in this case, whose judgment you are overturning. This is Chief Justice Chandrachud, deeply felt, deeply thought. I use this quote because of his last sentence. Do what is right irrespective of who is before you, who's it affecting, and in this case, whom you are challenging. This was Ramnath Goenka's creed, and this should be every journalist's creed, whatever its consequences. It defines all the award-winning stories today. Every winner today honors the memory of Ramnath Goenka and his enduring contribution to the free press. Ladies and gentlemen, I keep this count each year, and this time I'm pleased to report that in over 2 years, there are only 6 of them who have won RNGs earlier. Powerful evidence that the good is not in short supply, especially when the challenge is growing, from fixing our revenue model in the face of rapid change in technology and news consumption habits, to remaining fair, reliable, credible in these deeply challenging times. Indeed, we all can take a leaf from Justice Chandrachud's book in how he is responding to changes in the institution he leads. His innovative initiatives to open up court hearings, his use of technology to increase public access to the bench, his views to bring transparency into the court's decision-making, his thoughtful, nuanced reflections on the role of the court and its limitations, his acknowledgements of differences. All these are enduring reforms, I am sure, will strengthen the judiciary and deepen public trust in it, especially at a time when its role and its methods are being fiercely debated. Whatever contours these debates may take, an independent judiciary and an independent press are and will remain inalienable parts of our democracy, part and parcel of the basic structure. It's what all of us have fought hard for, worked hard for. We cannot let partisanship or cynicism erode this. That is why it is so heartening for me to see many of my friends here this evening. I know how much they disagree with each other on many things, but the fact that they're all here together fortifies our basic structure.